Welcome everyone to our daily Forex market analysis for May 9th, 2017. Just a quick disclaimer before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. If you have questions about your individual investment needs, I recommend you talk to your investment advisor. Okay, so let's start off with our Forex factory calendar here. So not a whole lot of important news that came out today. We do have Australian dollar retail sales number, which will be important for Australia here, or Australian dollar. And tomorrow, not much, again, in terms of important news. We have Joel's job opening, building permits for Canada. Important one is here, annual budget for Australia. So both the red pieces of news are around Australia, so keep an eye on Australian dollar as we are trading. The big thing that happened over the weekend was the elections. So Macron has won the race, and as a result of that, markets are they are calmer now, and the reaction that we have seen in terms of our charts have been around the whole buy the rumor, sell the news. So now that the news has come out, all the people who were long in the euro are now cashing in their bets. So they are closing out their trades. As a result of that, we are seeing a drop in euro. So big red candle for the day, which is very bearish. And now after this, it will take a couple of days, usually does a couple of days after elections, or this kind of big news for things to settle down. So in terms of our levels, let's start. So this is where we got to 1023, and now we are back into this level. So our important support and resistance level is this right here, 109. So that would be the big one. So in terms of tomorrow, so based on the daily candle, we are likely to see a little bit more reaction tomorrow. So I'm basically looking for it to kind of come back into this range. So it is higher, well, it is kind of in that range. So this was the trading range. So let me just get rid of this for a second. So this is the range that we were in before. Markets, or the price stayed in here for quite some time before it pushed up, and then now we're back into this range. So I'm expecting the price to kind of stay within this range, not expecting it to break this 108.50 level tomorrow. However, we may see a pullback into this 109.50 and then maybe a further drop towards the bottom of the range. One hour, let's take a look. Sorry, so Walter, you're saying, is that a shooting star followed by confirmation? This 1 hour, is that what you're looking at? This one here? You know, I'm not a big, I would say yes, but at this point, so I'm expecting it to go up. I don't like the setups in this gap time between before the markets are, when the markets are slow. So I like them when markets are really moving, but yeah, that I'm expecting it to move up, actually, kind of go into 109.50 level. Oh, what happened here? Oh, we kind of missed here. So I'm expecting it to pull up into this level, 109.50, or even higher into this 109.64-ish area. So the kind of move that I'm looking for would be something like this, and then a drop. So we're looking at this level. So this will be the first support level, 108.80, and then potentially even into 108.50. So this is not, this doesn't mean that we're bearish on euro. It's just that now that the excitement is over, I'm looking for things to settle down a bit before it finds direction again. So at this point, people who were long in euro are closing their bets, and as a result of that, we could see further weakness into it, and looking for price to basically stay in this range that we had seen previously. So if we look at our daily chart, this is the range that price was trading in, and now we're looking for it to go into 108.50 again. So let's just clear that. So looking for this type of a move and then into this and bounce off of there. So I'm looking for price to go sideways at this point. However, a bit of a pullback first and then a drop and then staying in that range. Pound here. Pound, similar story. We saw a big move up prior to the elections. Now we have seen price come down. With this one though, we are still into the whole Brexit thing at this moment with the elections, upcoming elections. This is still bid at this point. We had this whole big position kind of got unwound. At this point now, we are looking at, based on the daily candle, this looks bearish, so we would expect it to come down a bit into this 128.50 level. This range, again, still looking for it to trade in this range. So looking for a further move to the downside. So let's take a look at the 1 hour chart. So we could see a pullback into this level right here, which is our pivot point level, 129.50 area, and looking for a further move to the downside in the pound. Again, not a whole lot bearish on this, but just looking for price to sort of recalibrate, because this one got a big push up as well with the euro. So now I'm looking for this to kind of go back into this range that it was trading till we get something new that comes into the market. And we have elections coming up in June, so a lot of this going into towards the end of the May, a lot of the moves in pound will be based on the elections, what we hear from the elections. So right now it is still bid, which means it's still long. The direction hasn't really changed, but we could get a bit of a pullback into this and basically looking for it to come back a little bit lower into the range. So 128.50 could be a place to go up or go long on this one if the price holds above this level. We're looking for this type of a move. So right now I'm looking for a bit of a pull up and then drop for price to come into this 128.50 and then go back up again. So basically looking at range bound trade in this as well. And then we'll see what happens. Okay, this one here, we had a big drop and now we went into the support level and back up. At this point, let me see what oil is doing. The commodities have taken quite a hit, so we should see some sort of push up in the commodities. If the commodities push up, then all the commodity currencies are likely to go in the opposite direction. So in terms of oil here, we have been seeing oil, we have seen oil drop for, last 3 weeks now. At least, 3 weeks. And this is what we got on Friday, big push up. And now we are, so this was very bullish. And today was just indecision candle, but we got stuck there. See this pin here, right into that support and resistance area. We have 2 pins in approximately the same, so a bit of a zone here. So we are in that, into that resistance. If the resistance holds and the price goes back down, then we are likely to see dollar CAD push up. So going back to dollar CAD here, so this is where we are. If the oil continues to go up, then if oil continues to go up, then dollar CAD will come down. But if oil drops again, then we are likely to see dollar CAD go back towards the high. So this one will have to see how the commodities do. So I would say keep an eye on the commodities, and based on that, we are likely to see the correlated move in this here as well. At this point, based on the daily close here, this is very neutral. So even though we came into the, we saw a push up from the support. We have a big pin on this candle, even though the candle is green, but this pin makes it neutral, which means we could see a further move to the downside. And once the price comes into 136.44 level here, that will be the decision point for this. And that's where it will be correlated with oil, what oil does. At this point, it looks like it wants to come down here. And then we have two options. One, it could just push off. If oil starts to go up, we could, if the oil keeps dropping, then we could see the push up from here, 136.44. However, if the oil starts going up, then we could see price drop and then do one of these and then go back here. So in that case, our support and resistance area would be this 35.20 area, or even 35.50 area would be where I'd be looking for price to go to. So looking at the 1 hour chart, this is where we are. We have pins, bearish candle. At this point, it's just holding above the pivot. However, it could very well. So just to kind of draw it out here, we could see price come here. See this double bottom here? We could see another one here, intraday double bottom, and a price push back up again. But if it drops through here, if it breaks through, we will see back test and looking for price to go back down. So this one is a very neutral close based on the daily, which means we have to be open to trading it both ways. But 36.44 area, this will be an important level. So if it does drop, then we are looking into this here, 35.30 area, approximately here, or even slightly higher, 35.50 area. But prior to that though, we have another support and resistance level right into here, 35.80 level, that price will have to contend with before it falls, before it drops further. So the first, if it breaks through 36.44, first target will be 35.80, and then the next target would be this one right here, 35.50-ish area. Aussie here. Aussie is trading in a range. We saw Friday and Monday here again. So now it is holding below previous support and resistance level. Here is our range. So this is what we have seen for the last 3 days. It did have a good bearish close, and based on that, we are looking for price to drop. However, the bottom is very close. So first thing we'll have to look for is price to drop. Sorry, price to drop. Yeah, I'm looking for price to drop. We do have news coming out today. So I'm looking for price to go here first. And then this is where we'll have to see if the price kind of drops and does a back test, then we could see it come down lower. Two important pieces of news coming out for Australia. Sorry, excuse me. So we have two important pieces of news coming out, and that could make a big difference. Right now, based on the daily close, this looks bearish, but do keep in mind this 76.60 area right here. And if the price drops below that, we're looking for a further move down into 7,300 area. And if you go back to the 1 hour here, this is where we have been trading for last few days. So this level is very important. It's also the S1 level, 73.80 level, 73.66 level. If it does drop, then we are looking into 7,300, which is close to our S3 level on the Aussie. New Zealand dollar here, it has been range bound here as well for the last few days. And again, commodities have dropped quite a bit. So I'm not looking for huge drops, but they are still soft. And if the US dollar picks up, we are likely to see a further decline. But at this point, they are trading, New Zealand US dollar is trading in a range as well. So if the price pushes up, this one here is a bearish close. We have a long pin up top, and then we have a very small body with a small pin on the bottom. So overall, I'm bearish on this, and I'm looking for price to come down towards the bottom of the range, 68.50-ish level. The move that we could get on this one would be first a bit of a move up. So a bit of a move up here, could even go test the highs, but a bit of a move up nonetheless, and then a drop towards the bottom and potentially back into the range. So that's what I'm expecting with New Zealand US dollar. So let's take a look at the 1 hour chart here. Here we are. We could see the price go up higher into this R1 level here at 69.30-ish level, or even all the way up here. But overall, I am bearish on this. So looking for price to come back into and test the lows here, and then push off of that, go back into the range. So looking for this overall range to hold at this point till we see what happens with the commodities. Pound here, pound, yen. We have this one here. I see this as a bullish close, even though we do have sellers that have stepped into the market, but there's a long wick into the bottom, which shows that the buyers have stepped in, and that shows rejection. So at this point, I am looking for a further move to the upside and looking at 147.20, this 20-ish level here. So that will be the first target. And once that is done, we are looking at a 148.50-ish, somewhere into there. That will be the next target. Overall, though, I am bullish on this one. Walter, you're long in this one, are you? That's very good. Very good, yes. So it is, yeah, so we have pin bars here and prices. See how price is holding below the previous level? Sorry, above the previous level. So this is a good indication that it's likely to go higher. So that is looking positive. See how it's holding over here as well. We had a pin here and we came back into this previous previous level, which was a resistance level, now turned support, and price bounced off of that, and now we are looking very bullish. So looking for price to go into 147.28 area here, into this support and resistance level, and then a 148.50-ish 50 area up there. So bullish on pound yen. Dollar yen is also bullish here. We had a nice bullish pin bar, which means we are looking for a further move to the upside here. And the next level, 114.80. But prior to that, this level looks good. See how we have support and resistance here, into here as well. So this one is a 114. So I would say 114.20 area will be the first target. And beyond that, we are looking into this area, 115.50 area. Well, actually, prior to that, we are looking into this one here, 115. And then we are looking at 115.50. So those are the two levels I would put for dollar yen. So bullish on dollar yen as well. 114.20 and then 115 will be the next level. And let's take a look at the 1 hour. We are bullish here, nice bullish candle close here, pin bar. And now we are holding above and looking for a further move up. Euro yen. Euro yen, we did see euro drop. As a result of that, we are back into support. The daily bar is neutral. And the reason this is neutral, even though you see a red candle here, is because the pin is about the same size as the candle body. So this means that the price did come down, but it held that level there. It held that support level. And see how price tested this level here, this level right here. So it held above the support level, which means we are likely to see it push up higher. However, euro is not as strong. So at this point, I would say we could see price go back into 124.50. But if you were to trade any of the yen crosses, I wouldn't recommend euro. Pound or dollar yen are probably better choices at this point because this is a very neutral close, whereas dollar yen and pound yen, we have had bullish closes and we're looking for further bullishness in that. So in this one here, I am just looking for range bound here because of the neutral close for the day. So we could see price come back down into 128.2280 and then push back up and go into 124.50, but looking for price to stay within that range. So here we are. If the price comes back down here, see how the resistance became support. So we're looking for price to hold. This one here could go higher, go test the high 124.50, and then looking for it to pull back. If it comes down here, 122.92 area, so about 12300 area, looking for price to kind of move back. So just looking to trade this range. All right, EURCAD here has been dropping. We have had two red candle closes that puts this in a bearish area, but we are right into support. And then we also have Australian dollar news coming out today. So if the news is positive, we are likely to see this pair drop. However, if the, oh, sorry, not Aussie, EURCAD. Okay, EURCAD, this looks bearish. So the Australian dollar news may have some influence on that, but not as much. It will have more influence on Euro Aussie, which is our next pair here. So this one looks bearish into the support though. So the next target would be, I am looking for price to, if the price breaks below this, I'm looking for price to go into 148.65 or 50-ish area, which is slightly lower here. So that's the next target to the downside, but it does need to break in below this previous support and resistance area, which was important here. As you can see, price had come into resistance here before it broke through. So looking for further move to the downside, 148.50 being the target. On the 1 hour here, oh, we had nice little tweezer tops and then nice bearish engulfing candle followed by pin bar here. Anyway, so that was earlier. So this here, yes, we're looking for a 149.30 test of this area and then a drop into 148.50. Euro Aussie here. Here we go. We have a pin bar and a bearish candle close. So this looks bearish as well based on the candle close here. We do have news coming up which could change things for this. So at this point, I'm looking for Euro Aussie to move lower into 147.20 area, this support and resistance area right here. So we could get that drop if Australian dollar, especially if Australian dollar news comes in positive, we could see a further drop into this 146.40 area, right into here, this previous level. So that will be the second target. First target being 147.20, second target being a 146.40 or 50 area. So looking at the 1 hour here, we are making lower highs, which suggests a further move to the downside. So 147.20, first target right into here. If that breaks, then we are looking into this support area, 146.40-ish or 50, which is right here. So those will be the two targets to the downside, but do keep in mind the Australian dollar news. Aussie New Zealand here, we have seen a few days of drop. Now we are coming into support right into this area. Based on the daily candle close, I'm looking for further move to the downside, but looks like we are starting to see bigger pins on the bottom here as well. So this one I would be cautious with. However, there is a further downside possible here. So in this case, we could see price pull back higher into that 106.98, 10700 area. Oops. Okay. Sorry, this is not. Okay. Aussie, New Zealand, here we were. Okay, so we could see a pushback up into 10700, and that will be the decision point for this one. If it stays below, we could get one of these move lower, and we are looking at 10639. However, if the price moves up higher, especially with the news, we are looking at this support or resistance area. So let me just draw some lines over here. This one, 107.50. So this one here, we are looking for one first for the move to, we could see a pullback and then a drop. But if it moves up higher, we are looking at 107.50. Test of this level again. But based on the daily candle close though, this is, I'm bearish on this pair. And then New Zealand CAD is the last one I have. This is very range bound and looking for the range to hold here. So nothing exciting about this pair. We could see this move up higher towards the top of the range, but then looking for a move back into the middle of the range, or if it comes back down into 94.20-ish area, we're looking for a push back up. So looking for this one to stay range bound. Unless we get some news that would drive this. Right now, it looks very neutral based on the daily candle close. So if you look at the 1 hour, here we are. We have been into kind of this range. We went up a little bit higher, went down, came down, but in this range. So if the price comes lower here, looking for a push up. If it goes all the way up here, looking for price to drop. All right, any questions? That's all the pairs that I have.